My name is Benjamin Perrault. I'm an artist. I like the idea of creating a community around making things with people. Retirement homes and this kind of setting, sometimes it's a bit cut off from the rest of our lives. Especially in London, we tend to be quite segregated. If you don't have kids, you don't see kids. If you don't have grandparents around, you don't see elderly people. I really felt it was an important thing to connect with the different generations. There's not many spaces where we can test ideas, experiment, and have a direct impact on our environment. The idea of making objects, even small architecture, with people has been a drive for me. The project here is Warcha. The idea is to come here at Laurie House, a shelter home. We're trying to develop different techniques. So there's a bit of woodwork, but we're also introducing other material. So we've been working with clay. At the moment we're working with bioplastic. The point is to find ways for different people with different abilities to all make something. And I think that's quite out of the ordinary for them, and they don't really have access to this kind of workshop. For me, the stories, the discussion, the tea we might have together is as important. So it's as much for the community, for the collective endeavor, than for the idea of making itself. This kind of initiative should be replicated and do in other contexts as well. I can have an idea, formalize it, experiment, have people joining in and believe in that idea. That's something I'm passionate about.
Eva and I work here in Warcha, London, and we're based in North London in Tottenham, and we're currently working with a group of sheltered housing residents to design and build things for their shared spaces within their sheltered housing. Sheltered housing is like basically accommodation that's provided for people who have like physical or mental health problems. I studied fine art and then have worked as a designer and maker for the last five years. And I also, when I'm not doing Warcha, specialize in designing and making things with families and children under 5.
So I guess I would describe myself as an artist educator. I studied graphic design many years ago, but ended up kind of getting involved in more like participatory projects and kind of social engaged practice. And I guess similar to Eva, I'm really interested in materials and play, and sort of seeing that experimentation as a way to kind of evolve and develop ideas with people. We're definitely a kind of DIY approach, aren't we? And trying to like choose methods that allow people to see how something's made, so it sort of empowers them to do it themselves. We're always thinking about access because the people we work with have quite a variety of needs, so we'll often have multiple activities happening at the same time.
And I think it allows us to not be precious, which I think allows people to be much freer as well, because they're not trying to make it look a certain way, because actually it's really hard to make something look a certain way, whereas to enjoy the creative process is a much better use of your time.
Because when I joined, what really appealed to me is that Ben and Ines were sort of saying, you know, this is sort of about your practice as well, like what you find interesting. Because I guess with any kind of collaborative thing, and you're coming in it as a designer and an artist who worked with people, but there's always that sort of balance of trying to offer something unique and interesting and work with people, alongside people, but then also have something that's going to keep that interests you, or that keeps you the drive going.
Yeah, Ben and Ines gave us this project and they were really open about it. Like, I was interested in this because it was our Warcha and it is part of this network and it is part of this, it does have its own culture. And so we wanted to kind of write a brief for ourselves so that we could bring our own practice and what's important to us, but also like maintain that identity as our Warcha. Yeah. The work that we do combines relationships, materials, and public space. Those are like the 3 core things that we work with together. And when we're working with those 3 things, that's basically what makes us El Warcha.